Live from Cool Boys Central.
You're the boss down there. I'm boss up here.
From bat tips to bat nips, we are just three cool boys revisiting Batman, the animated series, and wearing hats. This is Batman and Beyond, a Cool Boys podcast.
I see Batman and Beyond.
Greetings, Cool Boy Bat Nation, and welcome to another installment of Batman and Beyond, a Cool Boys podcast. I'm Felk.
I'm Ballard.
And I'm Steve.
So cool.
Tonight's episode is Two-Face, Part 1. Directed by Kevin Altieri. Story by Alan Burnett. Teleplay by Randy Rogel. It aired September 25th, 1992, and features the introduction of Rupert Thorne. Wikipedia says, mobster Rupert Thorne attempts to use Harvey Dent's secret split personality to blackmail him. But when Dent meets with Thorne at a chemical plant, Big Bad Harv takes over, and the resulting confrontation leads to an explosion that horribly scars half of Dent's face. Spoilers, because he becomes Two-Face.
This has a great title card.
What?
I love the title card for this one. I think the show in general has some really good title cards that kind of give off how
Gorgeous
the show's gonna go.
artwork. Absolutely. Totally.
And the first appearance, Rupert Thorne. That's
Yes!
some good stuff.
We got some
He's a classic.
Got some good stuff ahead. You're right.
This is a good one. I love, once again, the opening dream sequence. It's just some good stuff that's going on throughout this
Good
series. The flipping of the coin comes across very menacing. I like how that's a good trademark.
Good stuff.
Would like to know more about whether or not the idea that Two-Face has a two-sided coin that gets damaged and then he uses it as Two-Face to decide things, because like he's flipping the coin and that's established that's got two sides. That's used in a film called La Dark Knight.
And also a film called Batman Forever.
Sort of. Batman Forever kind of doesn't understand it because like Two-Face, Tommy Lee Jones, keeps flipping the coin over and over again until he gets the result he wants. Like, what's the fucking point of that?
No, but the coin still has it. You know, it's two sides.
Yeah, but it's not established like that he's using it before he becomes Two-Face in that movie.
No, it's not. You're right.
Yeah.
We kind of just our version of Harvey Dent in that world is a Lando Calrissian Harvey Dent prior to that, and it never establishes anything with the coin or anything like that.
It's a complete restructuring of the character. Like that, there's no continuity with the
Billy D.
I
actually have interesting guys about this episode though, because that's kind of jumping a little bit ahead for the episode. As this is Harvey's third appearance, but really his first episode, because the other episodes he was just like he was sidelined as a plot point for Pretty Poison.
He's a plot device.
And
Yeah.
he's just in the beginning of On Leather Wings. Am I correct?
They've established him as a character, but nothing.
He's a DA
nothing from
and
it.
he's Bruce's friend is what we've established.
And I think that that's enough to make
That's all you need. Yeah, that's all
add
you need.
some stakes, you know. So it starts off, or you already know that Bruce is more motivated to protect him.
He's the only character who's been established as Bruce Wayne's friend really at this point. Like, Bruce Wayne doesn't have a lot of friends.
That's true.
I thought it was funny that Harvey's napping before a raid that he wants to observe it, and it's also really weird for a prosecutor to observe a raid. That's not a normal.
Is that
No, yeah,
really?
that's
normal thing?
pretty unusual.
Yeah, and I thought that was kind of weird too. That the way he manifests his multiple personality disorder in the dream, but then how he kind of does it right now after the raid, and he attacks one of the goons, and he starts almost beating on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
He's
a freak out in front of the
snapping.
cameras today.
Because of the
this
mud.
would just be you'd be absolutely destroyed by the 24-hour media cycle and then social media. Like
Nowadays,
no way
they'd
you
be
could do
like,
this.
"Oh, good job,
He's
kick those
he's a hero.
criminals."
He's a hero. He's beating on criminals.
Look at
This is
him.
1992, back when there was a 30 minutes a day of news.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, guys, just so you guys, I just want to tell you first. More than 75% of multiple personality disorder victims report having personalities in their system who are under 12 years of age. And personalities of the opposite sex
I don't know if
with
we
differing styles are also common, guys.
Also, by the way, multiple personality disorder isn't a real
Some
thing.
personalities with a multiple system often hold conflicting values, and behave in ways that are incompatible with one another. This is information from healthyplace.com.
Oh, that's a reputable
nice.
site. Or you could trust the DSM and accept the idea that multiple personality disorder isn't a real thing. It's people with narcissistic personality disorders and sometimes bipolar disorder who just have like overactive imaginations, and because they're narcissistic, think that they have several people living inside them. Nope, you have one personality, you have one neurology, and you think you're more special than you actually are. That's according to the actual diagnostic something of medicine. The DSM.
AKA your pussy whip.
Sorry, M. Night Shyamalan. Multiple personality disorder is not only not real, but you also don't have a special personality that has superhuman strength inside of you. That's not. It's not how the brain's connection to the body works.
Well, and then we see, of course, the freak out on TV, and Rupert Thorne is watching it, and it's Rupert Thorne's intro, and we finally get to see the big guy himself. You guys excited to see Rupert Thorne? I love Rupert Thorne.
Ballard, who voices Rupert Thorne?
No fucking clue who.
Oh, really? I thought it was like a well-known guy.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Steve, do you know?
No.
You know what I love about Rupert Thorne is one of the things he says right away about Harvey Dent. He goes, "The brighter the picture, the darker the negative."
That's a good. That's a nice one. I like that.
That's a good one.
Rupert Thorne is voiced by John Vernon. I don't know who
Who's
that
that?
is.
Oh, I wish I had a face.
Yeah, it says the late John Vernon was an accomplished film and stage actor who performed occasional
he's
voice
dead?
work.
He's the dean from Animal House.
He is Dean Warmer. in the
Awesome.
classic comedy
Oh,
Animal
it's
House.
that guy.
Yeah.
I totally know who you're talking about.
Now that I know that, yes, it's the exact same voice.
And that foot is me.
The time has come for someone to put his foot down. And that foot is me.
Did you guys just see that while Harvey was having his speech, his bitch was talking to Bruce Wayne during Harvey's speech? Harvey's up there talking, and she's just like in the middle of his speech, just like 3 rows back, just looks over and starts talking loudly to Bruce. Did you see that? She's like, "Hey, Bruce, I love it that you're here." It's like, dude, your man is giving a speech right now, like 15 feet in front of you. You have like 4 rows behind you. You have 3 rows in front of you. And you're just yelling at the top of your lungs.
Well,
to
Bruce is the
Wayne.
one that's hosting this event, so she's just being, polite.
She needs
Yeah.
to learn. She needs to learn her place. Something's up there. That's all I gotta say.
Harvey's got a thing with the bit. I mean, his last girlfriend was Poison Ivy.
Yeah, Harvey's got some bad picks and girlfriends. Something's going on.
I can
That's what
relate.
say.
I can relate.
Hey, did you just see that when Harvey was walking by all those people? He was like some lady was like, "I voted for you twice." He goes, "Hopefully 2 different elections." There, he's committing voter fraud or helping it, right? The
He's
next thing he
being
does
silly.
is he talks about misusing our judicial system by saying like, "Oh, if you don't do it, I'll bust you." He's a fucking asshole of a DA, Steve. Steve, is this uncalled for a DA to act like this in public?
No, that's just called wit. It's a fundraiser.
Oh, is that what that is?
I like how Bruce recognizes that Dent became a different person.
Yeah, but Bruce has been his friend all this time. Like, what's up? How does Bruce not know some of this backstory shit?
That he has all this aggression. I think the aggression is just coming out now is what's happening. Maybe after Poison Ivy.
Yeah, it would seem like getting poisoned would piss him off quite a bit.
Oh, Big Bad Harv is oh shit! Big Bad Harv is an effect from Poison Ivy. It's an after effect.
No, they don't set it up like it is.
No, the way that the therapy session sounds like it's been ongoing. Big Bad Harv. And the whole thing with the coin flipping and everything.
Yeah, wait, is this therapist the villain in the end?
In real life, yeah.
Right, yeah, she's kind of like enabling him to continue to have this trait.
He almost
Okay?
fucks
This
her
guy's-
up when he switches to Big Bad Harv. He's gonna.
Yeah,
son
no,
of a
she
bitch.
has to snap him out before he
Wow.
kills her.
Imagine the things she's forced Big Bad Harv to do before this. Disgusting.
I think she's a good therapist.
Yeah, I don't think. So.
By the way, guys, 97% of multiple personality disorder victims report a history of childhood trauma.
I do like,
most commonly a combination
you know-
of emotional, physical, and sexual abuse.
One of the things that I like other therapists is that how they show her explaining, basically how he became Big Bad Harv. The therapist says that he bottled up his anger that Harvey kept up as a child.
That's what I'm saying.
What that's how he becomes Big Bad Harvey. You just bottle up your anger. He didn't express himself, so now he's become this multiple personality person.
Absolutely.
That's all it takes.
That's it. That's all it takes, man. And 97% of these multiple personality disorder victims, right? Most commonly combination of emotional, physical, and sexual abuse at young ages, childhood trauma. That's fucked up. There you go, Steve. You nailed it on the head. And this therapist might have been the person causing some of these
up one
abuses.
kid, and then he bottles up all his anger for the rest of his life and creates Big Bad Harv.
Disgusting is what this is. By the way, guys, multiple personality disorder can be reduced or prevented by early diagnosis and treatment of traumatized children and by working to eliminate abusive environments. So if he wasn't around this woman, he may have actually been able to not become Two-Face and have this whole Big Bad Harv character. This woman is the villain, I'm thinking.
I disagree.
The DSM-5 uses the term dissociative identity disorder and treats it as a hypothetical possible condition.
Are you at healthyplace.com?
No, I'm not at healthyplace.com. I'm at the DSM.com.
Well, that's right. Exactly.
Hold on, I'll Google Healthy Place.
Welcome to Earth.
No, even the Healthy Place calls it dissociative identity disorder. Healthy Place. Inspiring people with mental illness. Therapy for schizophrenia. What is mental illness? Early warning signs of mental illness. Okay, let's find out. Have either of you experienced, or has Harvey Dent experienced, a marked change in one's sense of self? A feeling of change in who you are that may manifest through displayed emotions or behaviors?
Maybe.
Yes.
I think that's true for Harvey.
Confusion or disorientation? Fogginess?
For sure.
Again, that others can spot?
Yeah, he was in all those limelights and all the fucking flash photography. For sure he was going to get confused and disoriented.
Inability to carry out daily activities or difficulty handling stress.
Oh, yeah, the DA?
Couldn't even give a speech.
Any day.
Increased irritability.
Oh, clearly.
Avoiding friends or social activities.
Why would he? Obviously, Harvey has every reason to be irritable when he's got that dumb ass girlfriend talking over his speeches.
Dude, she's hot.
He's been working all night on.
You put up with shit.
He's been writing them probably for like days, maybe weeks, and she just talking jibba jabba over it.
You just don't get it. Like, no, she is a hot piece of ass, and you have to put up with that shit when you get one of those. Ballard's pretty. He doesn't understand these things.
Well, because the whatever red suit, black haired lady heard that secret of Harvey's actually got that Big Bad Harv, second identity, Rupert Thorne's gonna blackmail Harv. Shit's gonna go south.
Can you really blackmail someone with a mental illness, like a mental health disorder?
I think that it will lose his, career. I guess he
Wouldn't
can't
the
be a
public
prosecutor.
No, that's not at all true. I mean, that's
I don't think I would want a public
gay,
prosecutor be that he has multiple personality disorder or something. I'd be like,
yeah, but you'd be like, he's a bitch crazy man. He just screamed at everybody and beat the hell out of that criminal the other day.
No,
I think that's probably would hurt his career. He probably wants a political career,
and they're like, and it's probably that Grace.
You know.
That Grace is being such a bitch all around him lately. Have you seen that?
No.
Talking over his speech.
he'd become a national hero, the first elected district attorney who suffers from dissociative identity disorder. He'd be like Temple Grandin and her sexy horse.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Harvey's gonna have to answer for this blackmail, right? And he told Bruce what? He's like, I got big problems, bigger than you'll ever know, or some shit.
And he puts a bat tracker.
Bigger than you'll ever know.
Well, Batman does. Yeah, speaking of that, let's talk about that for a second, Steve. So Batman is like the nosiest friend ever. Harvey's like, I gotta go do something. Rather than Batman being like, cool, I'll let you go do your thing, Harv.
Bruce?
Because,
No, Bruce and
I'm
Batman are
cool.
two different people. So
Yeah, but like Batman's all like, oh, I gotta figure out what's going on. Batman would be the worst friend ever. Like, imagine this: like, you're hanging out, with Bruce. You're like, hey, Bruce, oh, I gotta go and do this thing. It's super important. I'll be right back, and I'll catch you tomorrow, maybe. And he's like, sure. Good luck, Ballard. And then I'm like, gone. And then he follows me, and then he finds out I'm hanging out with other people, and I'm going to like the bar with these other people. He's gonna be pissed.
He's a jealous
And
husband.
he's gonna give me all his passive aggression the next time I see him. It's gonna be really awkward and weird, right? Like, it would be the worst thing ever to be friends with fucking Bruce Wayne.
it ultimately, Batman causes Harvey's downfall. Maybe because he got shot. Maybe it's all because of this.
You're right, because Felk, you were just saying with that MPD shit or whatever it was, that like all this irritability caused by stress in your work life, all this stuff. Well, yeah, stress would definitely happen if one of your best friends is always moping around and checking out things and looking around and following you everywhere you went, right?
What I'm saying though is that Batman got jealous and made him a Two-Face.
I think I think we need to be looking more at Grace. Honestly, I think there's something up
No,
with
Grace was it's just because she was horrified.
There's too much sarcasm in this review of Batman. I'm having trouble understanding whether or not you guys are just horribly misunderstanding most episodes. Or at least Ballard with the last episode, where he thought Jordan's a bitch is the point of the episode, and now it's like the point of this episode is that Harvey's bitch girlfriend fiance.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that's Mike's
called
interpretation. His adult reanalysis of this is what I'm taking it as. But I was just understanding where he was going on this one. That maybe it was because of Batman.
I mean, this whole episode could be interpreted as about the problem with mental health stigma. Because he's being blackmailed for a mental health issue, a public professional. It's mental health stigma is a huge problem.
I think people are embarrassed sometimes if they are going to therapy. I
love Rupert's choice of location for the meet and greet. Why don't we go to this factory where we have boiling vats of hot liquid? Let's just go here and we'll meet after hours. Look at that. Two-Face fucking Harv, Big Bad Harv. He just threw...
I was just going to say...
Rupert Thorne.
I was just going to say that apparently I guess Big Bad Harv has super strength. Like, so when
he does.
When he's super... And he also, messes up Batman.
Fought Batman off.
Just like James McAvoy. Man.
I think in later on, he gives like Batman some pretty strong kicks that causes him to be basically like almost knocked out from it.
Yeah,
and so I think he has super strength apparently, and it's all that rage that he bottled up for years.
It's that rage is strength.
So it's made
and agility.
Strong,
apparently, you see how he leaped off the desk.
I'm looking at the checklist, and increased strength and agility is not one of the possible signs of mental health problems.
Well, on my checklist, it is.
At Happy Place.
Happy Place.
Healthy Place.
It's funny though that this whole thing's happening at a chemical factory. Just once again, like somehow.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Batman, stop going to chemical factories.
I think this was Thorne's hideout, wasn't this? Or they were meeting somewhere.
I don't know. There's no canonical like what happened to Harvey. It's different like in every interpretation.
Here it is.
I thought
Here it is.
Oh, you electrocute those chemicals.
And it explodes them. I love that. Dude, this is one of the best origins in the show, I think. And this is great. Watch Batman. Watch Batman when he flips Harvey over. He's like, yo, buddy, you okay?
In a horrified look.
Harvey.
You don't show it. You just show it.
No.
They do a classic. I think they mimic Batman when they do the reveal.
Yuck. He's like, that's gross. Harvey, your face looks fucked up.
They kind of do the same thing with Gordon seeing him for the first time when you don't see him in Dark Knight. Well, I had to talk about the Dark Knight because obviously there's parallels. Like this.
I think a lot of this plot is.
Yeah, a lot of this plot is directly put into the Dark Knight and Batman Forever.
Well, this is also a plot line that's kind of ripped from The Long Halloween.
Which one came first?
Is that where it comes from?
Kind of. It's very similar. I mean, this is pulling from lots of comics, but The Long Halloween is something that's kind of the more modern, more common approach to the Harvey Dent origin, and that's what they use for the Dark Knight. It's kind of what they're using here too, and that's what they kind of, I would imagine, will use for any future other tellings of Two-Face as well.
How does his face get scarred in Long Halloween? Is it an explosion?
You'll have to read it to find out.
Or just tell me.
So that came out after this show. Long Halloween was published in 1996.
Okay, well then
was it?
So
was it?
Yeah.
No way.
Yep.
Was that theory?
I just looked it up.
That was the 80s.
It was a 13-issue American comic book.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
And,
wow. Well, The Long Halloween's great
because I thought I read that they mimicked this show. That's what's so influential on this is that they really pushed the comics from. They
did.
Here. Another thing that they pushed the comics was the whole thing with his suit. But
whose suit?
Two-Face's suit.
Oh yeah, you mean the white and the black, like Armani looking suit?
Yep, that's.
It's like zebra print in Batman Forever.
They did this here, and then from there they mimicked it from that.
And then I gotta say, I really like how with Harvey's reveal as Two-Face, it's him going mirror, Mirror. It's
a complete
essentially that.
Batman.
It's pretty much Batman 1989. It's like Joker's reveal.
For sure. Well, it just came out like 3 years prior.
I think it must have been drawing from that. And I gotta say, this was the first time to be continued.
It's a great. So they're branching out. They're having faith that their viewers are watching every episode. You know, that's some great stuff.
I felt like this was the most unchildlike child show ever. This is like the most adult version of this show too. Like this is when they're really starting to get into crazy territory that I loved as a kid.
This is when they, I think just, as they're going into the psychological issues and Batman being, losing a friend. And yeah, definitely a much more adult. And you could tell because the comics copied it from here. They followed this storyline. Which is just
and movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Totally.
The flipping of the coin, all that. I'd be interested to find out about the coin flipping.
Harvey gets burned by explosion in this episode. Explosion is a pretty violent thing to put even in a kid's show.
Chemical
explosion.
Electric chemical explosion.
Chemical explosion.
So maybe it gave him superpowers. We
Totally.
In the comics, I thought the canonical thing was that acid was thrown on his face in a hearing.
I think so, or at least one of them. I think
that's what they do in Forever. That's why I'm asking about Long Halloween, because it's all over the place. It's
here. I'll go grab it. I'll go grab the Long Halloween right now, and I'll actually go show you.
Okay, gasoline happens, gets on his face in The Dark Knight, and then he gets like lit on fire. The Telltale series, a stage light falls on half his face, and that's not how stage lights work, but somehow that burns him. The only consistent thing is burned on one side of his face. And in this one, it's like a hard line down his face. Same with the Tommy Lee Jones one, where it's like, that's not how scarring works. In the Dark Knight, it's a lot more like frayed and realistic, except, he would no one would be able to walk around like that. Oh, nice. Acid. Okay, it's acid, right?
It is. So it's actually Sal Maroni is on stand, just like it usually is kind of depicted.
Yeah.
And he's throwing acid into Harvey Dent's face so that Harvey Dent can become Two-Face. And
Maroni is implicit in his scarring in The Dark Knight.
You know what that is?
Batman?
That's Bruce Wayne in disguise in the courtroom.
Oh, shit. As opposed to in Forever, where he's just in full Batman attire in the middle of a courtroom.
And he jumps in front of it. And he leaps out of the jury. Bruce Wayne's like in the jury, it looks like, honestly, in Batman Forever.
Well, no, you need Batman is in the jury, I guess.
Oh, Batman, yeah.
Because he's in his full costume.
Wait, he's in the bat suit.
He's in the full bat suit, and
that's ridiculous. Batman's a juror member.
I don't even remember.
They shot that scene, all right, and intended to have it in the movie. So then they repurposed a 35 millimeter cinematic sequence as news footage, and it airs on like the TV, and the reporter's like, Harvey Dent was horribly scarred by gangster Salvatore Maroni in a courtroom. Batman tried to intervene, and then it cuts to like Val Kilmer in full Batman gear, just like jumping
in slow-mo
in a news footage to get to him.
The camera operator immediately switched over to like 60 or 120 frames per second or something like that. He's like, "Oh, switch it real quick, switch it."
90s Betacam cameras didn't have that ability.
He figured it out. He had it jerry-rigged.
They were locked at 29.97. He does that in the fucking in Batman and Robin too, where he repurposed like footage of Mr. Freeze becoming Mr. Freeze and just has it be like security footage and just reused it because there was no other way to get that narrative in there. So there's like a nice close up and dolly in that security camera.
Dude, I love those films now. Thank you, Christopher Nolan, and your Batman Begins.
This is still, to me, the definitive Two-Face because...
Me too.
Aaron Eckhart was too... he was too short-sighted. He was Two-Face for what, an afternoon?
Yeah, or like, maybe a day. All right, well, guys, let's give our boys up for this episode, huh?
I will give it, I think, 4.5. Actually, I'll give this one 5. I'll give this one 5.
I give this one 4.5 out of 5.
Okay.
I'll give it 5.
Wow. It's a very adult episode.
I almost gave this one 5, truth be told, but I scaled it down to 4.5 out of 5.
All right. Good to know.
So I mean, I could go to a 5 for fun.
Okay.
Why not? You know what? This is a fun podcast. Let's switch it. 5 out of 5.
All right, Cool Boy Nation. For the conclusion of this special 2-parter, tune in next week for Two-Face Part 2. Great bat stuff, gentlemen. Cool Boy Nation, tune in next week. Same cool bat time, same cool bat channel. Cool Bat Nation, be sure to let us bat know what you bat thought of Two-Face Part 1, or what your favorite bat episode is by bat emailing us at batmanandbeyondcoolboys@gmail.com. New episodes of Batman and Beyond come out every Thursday. Also, please check out our other great Cool Boy Central content with The Cool Boys Podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Patreon, where the Cool Boys have an uncensored discussion about 5 so cool movies, everything ranging from bods to dongs and all the boners they have given us. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Cool Boys Podcast and Facebook group us at The Cool Boys Podcast. Like and subscribe to us on YouTube. You can find us on YouTube by searching for The Cool Boys Podcast. And be sure to rate and review us on iTunes at The Cool Boys Podcast. And if you like, you can donate to us on Patreon and receive additional episodes of Cool Boys After Dark and a Cool Boy shout out on the Cool Boys Podcast that airs every Tuesday. You can find the Cool Boys on Patreon at patreon.com/coolboyspodcast. Thank you for listening. Stay cool, Cool Boy Nation. Until next time, it's Byzies from Felk.
That's Byzies from Ballard.
And Byzies from Steven.
So cool.
Batman
And beyond.
Oh yeah. Batman and Beyond.
Oh, yeah.